Hey everybody, welcome to Email Crushing It for February. We're going to dive right in today. We're going to talk about ConvertKit's latest templates, layouts, and a couple other features that I'm throwing in some bonuses today. You're welcome. Things that I found cool that you might also find interesting. Couple housekeeping things. I'm going to assume that you know a little something about my email and autopilot course. I'm going to make reference to terms like forever series and quick start guides and things like that. And if you don't know what the heck email and autopilot is, I'm not quite sure how you got here, but you may have access to the course and have just never accessed it. So let me know if you need that or if you need a refresher. Additionally, keep yourself muted. This is Zoom. Ask your questions. In this particular topic, I'm going to be kind of limited in what I know. I'm going to share with you everything that I know, but I may not have all the answers. But I'll do my darndest to write them down and then see how I can address them going forward. Okay, so here we go. Here's what we're going to talk about. First, some disclaimers, and then I'm going to talk about, does what we're talking about even matter? We'll talk about that. I'm going to share with you some old school things that you can do, or a little bit more advanced things as far as importing your code. I'll talk about the old way of, the old templates, because some of you don't even understand how that works, the classics. I'm going to talk about starting points. Starting points is the new feature. Really, it's the big thing, and as far as templates go. And then the email editor has changed, and there's different layouts that you can use from that. I'm going to share with you some additional things that you can do that are creative ways to implement some of this tech that I've been enjoying. And then I'm going to talk about content snippets. Anybody know what content snippets are? If you have ConvertKit. By the way, anybody not on ConvertKit that's with me today and just kind of curious to see what's been different? Okay, there's one. Gotcha. If this helps you, if you look for, go forward, I could understand it. Okay, Katie is using snippets. I might call on you, Katie, to see how you're using it. So be ready, think about it. So here's what we're going to talk about. So as of November, ConvertKit launched a whole bunch of new features, and they continue, based off of the comments of the CEO, they continue to be invested in it. I shared a tweet from the end of November that they're hiring people to help build out their templates. And then I've seen him tweet multiple times that they continue to invest in it. I've seen some dribbles of some trickle of new tech related to this come out, but and I will say right from the get-go that I don't think that they are completely there yet, and that it's still got some work in progress. So as far as, let's start with the disclaimers. I am, as you probably know, I'm a ConvertKit affiliate. I'm a ConvertKit fanboy in many respects. So you have to understand where I'm coming from on this too. I think you all already do. If you are interested in trying ConvertKit and you have not yet done so, well, doggone it. There's my shameless affiliate link. Go sign up. Even if you can get the free trial, and you get 30 days free instead of the standard 14 if you use my link. I also have access to somebody who can help my people a little bit better than the customer service side of things. So if you ever signed up through my affiliate link, let me know. Or even if you didn't, I don't care. I'll, whatever. Let me see if I can help you if you ever get stuck. Okay. So just mentioning that. A couple of confessions to make. I'm not necessarily an expert on this feature. All right. I have used it sparingly. The reason for that is that I use maybe I'm stuck in my ways, but I've got a series of templates that I use with my existing clients that tend to work great. And the other part is that you need to understand is that I am not a designer. Heck, sometimes I even wear linen after Labor Day. I mean, that's who you're dealing with here, folks. So just know all that. And my feeling on this is that for those of you who said that, ConvertKit's templates are ugly, I have, as you might guess, I have maybe controversial feelings about templates in general, which I'll talk about in just mention here in just a second. I also think that you might, when you start implementing this, I guarantee that when you start implementing this, just like with any new technology, there's going to be a learning curve and there's bound to be some frustration. Okay, so are all those disclaimers okay? Get all those out of the way. I just want to be real with you. Speaking of being real, I want to talk about, does this even matter? I'm not likely to convince any of you this, but less is usually more when it comes to your email results. What are the results that matter? Clicks. Now, it was asked in the question here, do templates impact deliverability? Probably not. Images don't usually impact deliverability. There's not even so many. It used to be that there were some spammy words that we were worried about. The main things to worry about with deliverability, I'll just answer that question, are your sender reputation. That's basically it. So the sender reputation that you have, do people open and click your stuff? And the sender reputation of your provider. So you may have, I'm not going to bag on other providers, but let's say a brand new email provider comes out right now and launches a new service. They have to go convince all the spam houses out there in the world that their IP addresses are sending valid, safe emails. So that's why people like MailChimp have got great deliverability, ConvertKit, great deliverability. They've been around a long time. There are some others that you may have used that struggled for a while in the deliverability department because their IP addresses were not as well known or their reputation was not as well known. Now, within that, your reputation also matters. This is why we do things like ask people to reply to emails, or we really want them to open, because that is a signal to Gmail and Hotmail and all of them that people care about your stuff. Okay, off deliverability, that's a topic for another day. Anyway, the results that matter are clicks. However, I totally get it. Your branding matters. What the emails look like matter a lot. I will say this, and I think you know this, it matters more to you than to anybody else. Get that? Okay, so anyway, why I'm saying this is that there is going to be a cost to you, no matter what platform you're using. It doesn't matter. There's going to be a cost to you to make dramatic changes to the stuff that you're doing. Okay, whether you just go around and play around with it, or you invest a lot of time, or you hire somebody that's going to make something pretty for you. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. You got to think about the ROI of your time and all that stuff. Okay, so I think you get it. It's interesting. I just had a conversation with, I'm not sure if that person's even on here, maybe, where we looked at another creator's emails and they said, I want that. And they were on a different platform. And I was like, you can actually make that exact thing without even the new editor. So the reality was that there wasn't anything special about it, is that person has a whole mega brand, has a big team that they pay somebody to build out those super fancy things. All right. So most platforms will do this stuff. A mention about Flowdesk. Flowdesk's designer is undoubtedly prettier. If you've ever tried to read a Flowdesk email, half of them are unreadable because they have created it for prettiness. Is that a word? This is a hill I will die on. I can show you oodles of. Now, I'm not saying that's Flowdesk's fault. It's just how people are using Flowdesk. Okay, because you can create very legible and readable emails, but people are consuming your emails on this device. Okay, so if you're going to try to make a magazine style looking thing that shows up well on this device, that's a challenge to do that in the way that your dreamy Pinterest land, aesthetic is the way you're thinking about that. Why? I have to mention this. What fonts can every single device read? There are very, very few. It doesn't matter if you do it in MailChimp or ConvertKit or Flowdesk. You send it to an AOL browser, you send it to a Hotmail browser, it will look different. There are services like Litmus. You can go pay thousands of dollars to Litmus for them to show you what your email looks like on every single device. And big companies do this. We had a subscription to Litmus at my e-commerce company. So I can tell you that this, Outlook 2017 is different from Outlook 2023. Some people are using Outlook 2017 still. So what's my point? My point is, to get the perfect aesthetic is really, really difficult. And you have to ask yourself if it's, where does minimalism factor in? Where does the cost? What can we actually get done that conveys our brand and looks good? Wow, that was way too much time on does it matter, because that's not why you're here. I realize that I'm going too much on that. So let's move on. So let's talk about ConvertKit and the templates that they do have. Now, inside ConvertKit, and I'm going to give you some real basics here. I'm going to go kind of fast just for the sake of time. Inside, you go under send and you go to email templates, and it's going to bring up all of your existing templates, and you come up to this button up here, and this is my Playground account, so I've got tons of them in there. And there's this new thing called starting points. I'm not going to start there. I'm actually going to start here with the importing code, because this is any of you could do this. You could hire somebody to create an HTML, CSS template that works within ConvertKit systems. There are companies like Uplers, that's UPLERS.com. It's a workshop out of, I think it's out of India maybe, and they will create a ConvertKit or MailChimp HTML template for you. If you really want to perfect the aesthetic, that's kind of your best shot, is to pay for somebody to do it. Now, if you don't want to do that, inside, you may not even know this, I just realized this earlier today, that inside email on autopilot, let me just share this with you. I have a section, it's wherever it is, it's in the ConvertKit guides, and it's how to set up a ConvertKit template. If you want a template that works this way, you can just go grab this, and then everything in yellow is something that you can change. All right, I'm just showing you this in case you never discovered that in email and autopilot. Let me show you how that works real quick. I hit copy of that. I come down to import code. I'm going to call this crushing it or whatever. And I'm going to paste that in there. All right, now I'm not even going to do anything more than that. And then here it is. I'm going to click on it again, and we're going to preview that layout. Oop, that didn't show it there. Just a second, I got Zoom issues here. We switch to that. And here's what that looks like, okay? Not amazing, but not unprofessional. So you can swap out your logo, and then you can use the other features I'm going to show you today in the email layouts to build around this, okay? So this is a template that you could import, and then you can use their email editor and layouts that I'm going to show you in a minute to work with this. I'm not saying you have to, just saying that you could. Let's get out of that now. Let's go to the other templates. All right, so if I go back to templates and go to new templates, they have these classic ones. Most of you are familiar with these. All right, they still have them, they still support them, and they work with the new layouts. They just have much less functionality. And a template is nice because you know it's always going to look that way, and then the message content is the stuff in the middle. But what we're going to talk about today is the new feature, because I'm going to assume that most of you have this general stuff down, and that's these starting points. Okay, a starting point is just that. Basically, what you do is you design a look that you like. When you go to create a new broadcast, that look will be there, and you can then edit and tweak it. Okay, I don't have time today to do an entire one, but I'm going to show you just the general gist of it. I hope that's okay. Let's start here. I have these that I could choose from. Okay, this is one thing that they have done. They continue to add different layouts with the starting points. So I hope that they'll continue to make those, give us some different options. But even with some of the more basic stuff, you could grab something like this platform starting point. And then I could change the background color. It's going to be white. I can change my logo, replace that image, and drop in email. No, not that. Drop in email crush. I can resize that thing. I can change this up so so it's always Arial or it's always Geneva. And I want that always to be, that big and bold. If I click on this, and then I'm going to change this to be this color because I want to. And then maybe I'm going to always have a first paragraph. Oops, not that. I messed that up, didn't I? First paragraph. And then I'm going to make sure that that looks like this. You see how I'm doing this? You're just it's like you're editing a starter, a blank email from scratch, except the difference is that once you've got it, you can reuse it as your starting point going forward. So let me get out of this because I could spend a lot of time trying to make something super pretty. I actually did spend a few minutes before this call making one. It really didn't take me too long. So I'm going to show you, if I go back to my email templates, so there's the one I just got done messing with. So let's get rid of that. But I created one called One Article Starting Point. Okay, super original name. So here, let's say that I have an email that kind of looks like this all the time. What does this do for me? When I go to create a new one, I'll just be able to just change out this image, change out the title, change out what this says, but I don't have to redesign everything, if that makes sense. And as far as the starting point, I can change this for the future so that it is a slightly different color, okay, for next time. And I save it. So it's kind of a template, kind of. But the thing is, it's not set in stone. That's the difference with a template in ConvertKit, is the header and the footer are always set and you can't change them. Watch this. Now when I go to create a broadcast email, I'm going to go send one. I'm going to create a new one and I'm going to select, I'm going to browse my templates, and there's my one article starting template. So I'm going to replace the content here. Now, by the way, this is a bug. It's showing the old template. Hit refresh real quick. And now it works right. I don't know, bugs. So now I've got this. Let's say I was doing a quick start guide and this is the template I wanted for a different quick start guide. I could say, okay, now for being as awesome as Barbara. Thanks for coming, Barbara. You're awesome. Hi there. And then I could say, this is the actual problem. Oh, I like that. Let's just keep this, but let's add an emoji now. And the secret to being Barbara. You see what I'm doing here? Barbara, will you send us this article, by the way? That would really help all of us. So then you just come in here and you're like, okay, I'm going to change this up. That does not look like Barbara, if I remember. So I'm going to hit replace. And I don't know. Barbara's more of a helping hands kind of person. On and on. All right. Now, am I done here? No, I could keep adding other stuff. I could. This is more stuff, just the same way that you would with any other email. So you see how the template was kept, but it's not set in stone. By the way, down here, I can change up I can change this to cheers. And I could swap this out, right, to those, because people love those. All right. Now that email is ready to rock. Does that make sense on how starting points would be used? Now, a couple tips on how you might use starting points. You may have noticed when I did this that I have to tell you. I have so far been a little confused a couple of times when I've been in a starting point and I thought I was editing the starting point, and then I did something stupid, and then I was like, yeah, let's switch this out. It's actually going to be a 5 article instead of 1. And I did this. You have to read this. It says replace my content. It literally erases everything that I'm about to do. Okay, so the whole Barbara thing is gone. But now here's my 5 email, or my 5 article layout, which leads me back to the email templates. Little trick here. Let's say that you send emails that, maybe you sometimes send an email with 1 article in it. Maybe you send an email like I did with that roundup that has 5 articles. Make a template for both. It'll save you time. If you tend to send one with 5, and one with 10, make one for both of those. The way that you do that is, like, if I were to do this here, if I open up I created a starting point for the 5 articles. I'm just come here to duplicate. duplicate, whatever. And I'm going to change this. This is now 10 articles starting point, and it's always going to be 10 ways to be more awesome. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add these in, 10 more of them. You follow me? I've probably lost some of you, haven't I? It took me a little bit to get the difference between a starting point and a template, but I see it now, and it's actually pretty powerful once I kind of got into that. All right. Let me know if you have any questions as we're going through here. Now let's say that I'm creating an email. I'm gonna go create a new one. Let's go back to the one that I was making, because why not? Some things have changed with the email editor if you haven't been paying attention to it. It's much more WordPress-like up here, you know, with these blocks and these different features you can have, and then the little, almost like a block in Gutenberg or whatever they're called. And so you can add in these different things. If you have not played around in here, it's worth playing around. I can't go through all the new things that they've added. There's a couple I'm going to talk about. Snippets. You can insert videos. But I'm going to talk about layouts. I think those will probably be the only ones I talk about. The other ones are definitely, an HTML block. This is really powerful. It's just like a custom HTML block in WordPress, right? Where you know exactly what you want it to look like, and you're not getting it, so you drop it in there. The reason for this, somebody brought this up, Heather, is because one of my links actually, because I'm just creating buttons and links that are empty. Okay, so it's telling you that there's no link in one of them there. So it's just saying, before you send it, watch out. Check your links. Now, a couple of things when you're messing with these that took me a little bit is figuring out how to get rid of stuff. Sometimes was a little weird. So it's a little funky. So you actually go to the one below it and just backspace, and it'll get rid of it. Also, the thing I'm going to show you now is like a layout. Let's say I'm going to do a new layout here. Or, you know, I'm banging through this, and I'm like, this is good, but I don't want the rest of this. So I'm going to go all the way down to here, and I'm going to start deleting stuff, right? So down here, though, I'm going to left align that, and I'm going to make a layout. The layouts are new. You can spend some time in here, and I found these to be pretty nice. There are a couple of drawbacks to them. So, for example, I think a common one is, let's say we're going to do it's a quote. Sure, you bet, it's a quote, and this gentleman is giving me a testimonial, and he says, Barbara really is amazing. And his name is Frank, obviously. And then, you know, the quote is going to be in different colors, and the name is going to be in different colors. And then you see what I'm saying? I mean, you kind of mess around with it. It's limited, but it has some things that you can do. When you want to get rid of this, remove layout. There's a bunch of different layouts in here. Some that I think that might be more helpful to you, that I imagine, or you're going to use more frequently. This is a nice one, by the way. This top one is a nice one for, say, you know, about author kind of thing. I think you're probably going to use these two a lot. You know, image left aligned, that kind of block with a button. Those are nice. This is a great little mini call out. Our conference tickets are now on sale. It kind of breaks up the flow. So if I throw one of these in here, and you know, I can change that button, and I can change those colors, but right, kind of get it. And so just all I can say is go play, just mess around a little bit and see which ones you like. If you've seen if you've seen a layout on some other newsletter that you know is ConvertKit, it's probably in there. That's my guess. If not, then it might be one that we want to surface up to ConvertKit to say, hey, look, we want to lay out like this. And trust me, this group right here, super powerful, very important people. If you will send me what you want, I'll bang that drum for you over there. I know a person or two over there that I can say, look, my people are demanding this. You know what? Barbara needs it. Let's do it for Barbara. So that's that. Next, just cranking through my stuff I wanted to share with you. Oh, so anyway, after you see this and you see how you play around with it, now does that make sense? If you made a starting point and then duplicated it and made multiple versions, like this one might be an affiliate email, this one might be for a course, this one might be for you know, an about me type of art, you know, whatever your different types of emails are that you send. Maybe you have a weekly menu plan and it looks different than all the rest. Make a starting point for it. I will tell you that I have not really messed around with taking it from a broadcast and then moving it back over to a starting point. I don't know if it's as simple as copy paste into a new starting point. It might be. Sorry, I should have looked at that. It just occurred to me right now that that would be a question somebody would have. Let's do this. Oh, Kristen's here. I want to show you this in action before I go into content snippets. And just so everybody's gauging time, we're probably 10 minutes left. Okay. If you got to get, I totally get it. But Kristen, Miss Iowa girl herself, are you there, Kristen? Yes, you are.
I am here, yes.
Now, this was serendipitous. It was not planned except for 30 minutes ago when Kristen sent me an email, you know, and anytime Kristen sends me an email, it goes right to the top of my my inbox. I'm going to show it to you here. That's all right, Kristen.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay. And I knew when I was looking at this, okay, I got down here, I was like, wait a second. They didn't used to look like this. Actually, they probably have for a while. You are clearly using some of these. Oh, that's a different one, right? That's a different layout. So you're using the new layouts, right, Kristen?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, tell everybody your experience, good and bad.
Yeah. So I think to your point at the beginning, like, you know, people, as content creators and owners of our own businesses, we want our emails to be beautiful and branded. But I think there is something to be said for going too far, you know, especially when people are reading on their tiny little mobile device. It's getting the essence of your brand across, of course, but also being able to be consumed easily on your cell phone. And so that said, I've taken some of the layouts that ConvertKit now offers and just kind of tailored them using some brand elements like background image, colors, and headline colors and things like that, and just kind of tailored them and tweaked them to what I want them to be.
Okay. Now, what was the struggles with it though? There had to have been a learning curve.
Yeah, I think I do wish there was like a toggle within ConvertKit to see what the email looks like on desktop versus mobile, because it is such a different experience. And I do wish that you could tweak some of the layout items to appear a little bit differently for mobile. But these elements that I've selected for the desktop version that we're seeing here do kind of transfer nicely to mobile, which is why I've selected these layout options versus others.
That's a great point. Remember, most of your people are consuming it on this device, and we don't see it that way when we're laying it out. So make sure you send yourself one so that you can preview it and just, you know, see what this. It's not going to work right here, but you can see what it looks like. Jesse asked, "Do they stack on mobile?" Kristen, do you know?
Yep, they stack. So the image is on top, and then the blurb and the link are below.
Okay. If you have, this is a question that was asked, I'll try my best to answer it. If I have previous sequences all in HTML code, do they need to be converted to this new editor? Well, that kind of goes into the, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you can change templates midstream, okay? And you could do this before. So the editor and the templates are different things. The template is the header and the footer and the styles. The editor on the inside allows you to add in these elements. The new editor, some of you are so OG ConvertKit that you're using the old editor. They want you to switch to the new editor so that you can use these types of features. I probably didn't answer your question directly, but let me know if you have a specific issue and we can talk about it. Okay, So thank you, Katie, or Katie, thank you, and Kristen. I felt like Katie was really supporting you there, Kristen, and
Felt it.
I wanted to mention it. So as you can see, there's going to be pros and cons to doing this, but there's definitely they've made some advances. Now let's do. I want to show you this. This is pretty powerful for, I think, for some of you and how you do business, and that is the content snippet. Okay, inside send, there's something called snippets. These are just reusable blocks. Now I've got a whole bunch because I've been playing around. Okay, let's say that I go to my I have a really dull and boring fake vegan broadcast that I was messing around with earlier today. So let's say that I've got this email. All right, super compelling stuff. And I want to insert something very important, whether it's a sponsorship or it's a conference I have coming up, or I'm selling a book. I can go right here and select snippet. And I can pick out a snippet that I've previously made. Now, why would I do this? So let's say that I've got this important call out box. Okay. Now it put the snippet code in there. When we preview this, this is what this looks like. It dropped this in here. It's just HTML code. Let me show it to you. It's down here. Okay. It looks like that. You hit edit, and this one is HTML. All right. Now, obviously, some people don't want to do the whole CSS and HTML thing. You don't have to. But in this case, I was going for a certain look. Here's another example of how you might create that. I'm going to do one called affiliate links. And let's see, maybe I've got some text I could use here. Well, let's just go for it. So here I can drop in, and I'll do an H2, more resources for spring. Maybe this is my spring affiliate links thing, okay? And then I hit the, let's add in, I don't know, list. And then it's link 1, link 2, and 3. And then each one of these, I can make a link, okay? I'm gonna spare you this, you get the idea here. I'm gonna hit save. I'm gonna go back to that broadcast that I was working on, and I'm going to close that out and get rid of that one. And this is what it looks like without it, okay? There's me closing it off, okay? Now, if I drop in this snippet here, affiliate links, and then I preview this, hey, more resources for spring. Now, why might you use something like that? Well, you could, like in an email like this, from time to time, maybe we want to share affiliate offers. We want to share our new book. We've got an event coming up, but that stuff changes, from time to time. So it can't go in the template, but we can use it like this and drop in the snippet. And in fact, I can change this snippet. So if I had an affiliate snippet, I could just go in every time, I could change up my code is 25 off spring is my code with super duper affiliate company. And my deals and steals section here. Does that make sense? So there's lots of different things we can do with snippet, or you could sell an ad, you could drop in your sponsorship in the middle here. You make something look nice. I've been started messing around with this a while ago, I was playing with some different looks. There's all sorts of things you can do, especially if you adopt either their layouts or let's go with this one, advertiser call out box. Let me show you this one. Presented by sponsor name, description, call to action. Okay, not fancy, but presto, I've got an ad in my emails. All right. Look, there's a lot you can do here. It's going to require some playing around. My feeling on this is that that may be worth it for some of you. And for some of you, you may be just fine living where you're living, and we're going to make some little minor tweaks. Now let me hit this real quick. As you're going through this, you may run into some challenges where it's not working the way that you want. I am not the expert on all things ConvertKit. I have used it a lot. I think more than anything, it's just because I've used it so much, I know people over there. And I bang on their door a lot. So I can help maybe. One of the benefits of knowing me is I'm willing to go to bat for you. There may not be very many other benefits to know me, but that one, I will go to bat for you. If you struggle with something on this as you're going through it, they need this feedback right now. Okay, they're putting resources and time and energy behind it. The folks on my lists, or folks on this call, are awesome and have devoted time to email and are committed to continuing to build it out. They want your business. They don't want you to go off somewhere else. If you go off somewhere else, that's, you know, that's great. But if you're on ConvertKit and you're trying this out and it's not working the way that you want, like I found a couple of bugs as I was diving in, let's let them know. Because as I've worked with them over the years, I have found them to be mostly responsive on the stuff that is reasonable to ask for, okay? And all of you are reasonable people, especially Barbara, I found. Okay, what questions did I not answer about this? Or do you feel like you came away with at least a better understanding of how it kind of works so you can go play? It's still going to require some playing around, as Kristen would probably attest. It probably took you a little bit, right, Kristen, to get even what you had there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of trial and error, and just, I feel like two people don't love change. And so if the clicks are a little bit down, it's just like keep testing and keep trying. And yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Special thanks to Kristen for being our guinea pig and actually going out there and pioneering it for us. That's awesome. For those, I'm just checking the questions. I got on late, somebody just covered, so these starting point templates are only available for standalone broadcasts, not sequences. I think you can use them in sequences too. I need to check on that. I'll check. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer. I thought you could. Do we need to convert our old templates to the new editor? Are the old ones being discontinued? No, they have. In fact, I was talking with one of their product people just yesterday because I was concerned about a template I had. And I had that same question. They said, no, we don't have any plans of getting rid of the old templates or the HTML templates. They do have plans, probably, I mean, you can just see the writing on the wall, of getting rid of the old editor. But that old editor is like really old school stuff anyway. And most of you aren't on it at all. So hope that helps. Any other questions I can answer? I'll stick around as long as you want if you have questions. Otherwise, go out and, you know what? Email somebody today. Tell them you love them. Tell them you love tacos. They need to know.
Hey, Matt, I left a question in the chat about YouTube links and ConvertKit emails.
Yeah,
You want me to,
I think in your case, that looks like a bug to me.
okay.
You know, we'd have to look specifically at whatever that situation is. And if that continues to happen, it's not acting the way that it should, then I will get you in touch with my helper over there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. If you haven't, Lauren, thank you for sending a wish list there. If you have specific wish lists, let me know. And I'll probably, the best thing to do is to email them to me at Matt@emailcrush, because then I can collate. Is that a word? Or is that a fruity drink? I think it's a word. All right. Okay. Now it's just weird. Now we're just looking at each other. So, which I don't mind doing. It's awesome to see y'all. So, but can we duplicate a block easily? Can we duplicate a block easily? Honestly, I'm not even sure I know the answer to that. I don't, let's say, not a snippet. We want a layout. I'm just playing here for those that want to see. Let's go to layout. They're just pretty simple to make anyway. But I don't know that there's like an easy. I don't know what happens if I do this. Yeah, I don't think that works. I think the answer is no on that one. I think you have to make it an individual one. Can you repeat the coupon to get extra time with your affiliate? Not sure I understand what you're asking there, Chris, but if you need my affiliate code here, there it is. And if you need extra time on your affiliate, heck, doesn't hurt to ask. We can always go ask, right? On your 30 days and you needed a little bit more time. They're pretty reasonable over there. So can you use layouts in snippets? I don't think so. Let's try. Here are our options. No, can't use layouts per se in snippets. But what I would do on that, if you had one, and so here's a hack, is let's say that I really liked this snippet, hit preview, come down here, inspect the code. I know this is next level stuff for some of y'all, but grab, edit as HTML, copy that, and then come over and make a new snippet with that HTML code. Now you might have to monkey with it a little bit, but for the most part, you could probably accomplish the same thing. Good question. You guys are trying to stump me today. You're doing a darn good job. And clearly I need to up my knowledge on layouts and templates. Okay, anybody have anything else? I'm an open book today. While you're here, you're still here. You haven't left yet. I don't know why, but you're still here. Let me use this as a public service announcement. There is somebody within the sound of my voice today that needs to update their quick start guide based on seasonality. Is that you? Down in the chat, let me know, is that you? No? Am I wrong? Oh, there's 1, 2, just did it this week. Okay. Look, go to the existing quick start guide that you have and ask yourself, can I make this seasonal? And if you can, you go up to the sequence and hit duplicate, and presto, you have an exact copy, and you just go in and edit the words that aren't seasonal. And then you pause the other one and turn on the new one. Zari, is it time? Is it time for a new quick start guide? No, we got too many quick start guides that are coming out your ears. All right. Somebody out there needs to do it. I have, oh, you're still here. Why are you still here? I'm just going to keep rambling. I am more excited about email today than I ever have been. How long was I muted? How long did that go on? Did you get the miming? Because I believe that the content creators that are here have amazing brands and you're not doing enough with them. I'm just gonna say it, you're not doing enough to build your brand. We're very heavily dependent upon Pinterest or your Facebook group or your Instagram or the Google, Lord Zuckerberg, Lord Google. Email is a fantastic way to build your brand and communicate how you're different. Almost all of you could be doing better with email on this. I'm just on one today. What's going on? And the reason that we do it is that the shiny object syndrome, or look, I get where it fits in the overall ROI. The digital landscape is changing though. It's always changing. It's always been changing. Email has always been there. What's going to happen with AI? I don't know. What's going to happen with SEO? We don't know. What's going to happen with the third-party cookies go away? We don't know. But what we do know is right now, true, Jesse, right now, you have an audience that is landing on your website, landing on your channel, consuming your awesomeness, and they're not getting enough of it because they're bouncing and heading on their way. 80 to 90% bounce rates. Has that changed for you? Probably not. My guess is that most of us are still dealing with that. So what's the opportunity here? The opportunity is to take that audience that you have today and invest in growing those super fans. Okay. I'm off the rah-rah. And Jesse, I actually cut out Diet Mountain Dew last week. So maybe that's the problem, is these are withdrawals. Anybody wants to talk about, get more rants from me, you just stick around. Otherwise, go have a wonderful day. I'm going to record this. I'm going to stop the recording because that'll signify it. Okay. But if you, like I said, if you run into issues with the ConvertKit templates and all that, let me know. All right. Thanks for being here. Go crush it.